Hello friends, let us continue with Coleridge's poem, that is Love. In the last two videos, mm, we have completed 8 stanzas. Now let us continue with the ninth stanza. I told her, that is, the speaker in the poem is trying to mm, win the heart of his lady love Genevieve, and for that purpose he is trying to please her by singing a song in which again there is a similar story. This time it's the story of a knight uh, and his love for a beautiful lady belonging to that land. So it is the mm, story within a story. I told her how he pined. The speaker says, I told Genevieve about the knight's love for his lady, how he pined, P-I-N-E-D. The verb is here, pine, that means uh, have a desire for something, longing for something. I told her how he pined, how he longed to win the love of the woman. And the deep and the low, the pleading tone. So the knight loves that lady a lot, and this knight story is sung by the speaker, and he is singing in a deep and low and pleading tone. Pleading, uh, if there is the tone of the request or begging very modestly. So this is the pleading tone, and the tone of the speaker while singing that song is very deep, very emotional, mm, and full of request, pleading tone, with which I sang another's love. But he says, I was singing another person's love with this song, with the help of this song, and with a deep and sincere voice, I was singing another's love. But as in the last line of this ninth stanza, he says, I interpreted my own love. To interpret means to explain. To interpret means to explain. So, so interpretation is explaining the meaning of something. So he says, by singing another knight's song, I was interpreting, I was explaining, I was telling her about my own love. So this is the strategy of the speaker. And the next stanza, the 10th one, she listened with a fleeting blush. So there is blush, there is awkwardness, there is embarrassment on her face, and that is fleeting, staying for some time, momentary. She listened with a fleeting blush, with downcast eyes. Now this line is repeated regularly in the poem. So when a line is repeated at regular intervals in a poem, it is known as a refrain. In order to emphasize something. So what Coleridge emphasizes here is the downcast eyes, the modest look, and the modest grace, which is expected from a woman. That in the last video I was discussing the poem from a feminist perspective, from a woman's point of view. So a woman is always expected to be very modest. She should not look at the world with open eyes, and she should be always, her eyes should be always downcast eyes. Okay, and that is the symbol, that is the sign of the of a dignified woman, of a respectable woman, etc., etc., with downcast eyes and modest grace. So she is listening to the song, she's listening to the story, and and she is blushing, and she's looking downward with downcast eyes and modest grace. So she's a graceful woman, and she forgave me that I gazed too fondly on her face. And he says, while singing the song, I was gazing, I was looking intently at her face. I was gazing at her, and she forgave me for doing so. So that is a kind of consent by the woman. But when I told the cruel scorn that crazed that bold and lovely night, but when in the story, in the night story, what happens is that the lady is not ready to accept his love, the knight's love. So there is a kind of hatred or scorn, cruelty in her eyes or in her behavior, in the behavior of that lady towards the knight. So what happens when he is not able to win her love, to win her heart? But when I told the cruel scorn that crazed, that made him mad, that made him angry, whom? The knight. That crazed that bold and lovely knight, that the knight was bold and lovely, but he became mad. He became mad with anger because of the scorn, or because the lady is not responding to his love, and that he crossed the mountain woods. So he started, suddenly he started his journey in that madness, or in that anger. He crossed the mountain woods, forest, jungles, nor rested day nor night, and but he never rested. And he was continuously, he was riding the horse, and he was wandering places. The 12th stanza, that sometimes from the savage Dane, savage, wild, uh, Dane is the home of the animal, hidden homes of the animal. These are the Danes. In simple language, it is a cave. That sometimes from the savage Dane, and sometimes from the darksome shade. So sometimes he was traveling, he comes across dens, caves, dangerous animals, some dark spaces, dark places where utter darkness is there. So during his journey in his madness, out of his love and being rejected by the lady, the knight, he is wandering continuously, and sometimes starting up at once in green and sunny glade, and sometimes he is traveling through sunny, full of sunshine, sunny places. Glade is the open area in a wood or a forest. So sometime greenery is there, some sunny spots are there, some dark spaces are there, some danes are there. So while wandering here and there out of his madness, mm, in his love for the lady who is not responding positively, the knight is continuously wandering here and there. Here we will stop and continue tomorrow. Thank you.